two sisters, born into the same royal family, raised in the same palace, and loved by the same parents. Yet their lives could not have been more different. One would become one of the most powerful and respected monarchs in modern history. The other would spend her life searching for freedom inside a golden cage. One chose duty, the other chose passion. This is the story of Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Margaret, the Royal sisters, whose lives were shaped by love, scandal, and the heavy weight of the crown. From the outside, their lives looked perfect. They were among the most photographed women in the world. Every appearance followed by cameras, every decision analyzed by the public. But behind the balcony waves and royal ceremonies, there was something far more complicated. Why did one sister become a symbol of stability for an entire nation, while the other became one of the most controversial figures in royal history? To understand that story, we have to go back to a time when neither of them were meant to wear the crown at all. Princess Elizabeth was born in London in 1926. She was calm, serious, and deeply responsible. Even as a child, she loved order, animals, and discipline. But 4 years later, her younger sister Margaret arrived, and from the very beginning, she was completely different. Margaret was lively, playful, mischievous. Where Elizabeth was reserved, Margaret was dazzling. Their father once famously said, "Elizabeth is my pride, and Margaret is my joy." The sisters grew up believing they would live quiet, royal lives. Their father was only the second son of the king, meaning the throne would likely pass to their uncle. So Elizabeth and Margaret expected a comfortable life, far away from the pressure of ruling. But history had other plans. In 1936, everything changed. Their grandfather died, and their uncle became king. But King Edward VIII shocked the world with a decision that would trigger one of the greatest royal scandals in British history. He wanted to marry an American woman, a divorcee named Wallis Simpson. At the time, this was considered unacceptable for the head of the Church of England. The monarchy faced a constitutional crisis. Edward refused to give up the woman he loved. So instead, he gave up the crown. After less than a year as king, he abdicated, and suddenly, the quiet Duke of York, Elizabeth and Margaret's father, became King George VI, which meant something even more shocking. The young Princess Elizabeth was now the future queen. Overnight, the sisters' lives changed forever. From that moment on, Elizabeth's childhood ended. She began intensive training for her future role. Lessons in constitutional law, government, religion, statecraft. But Margaret's education stayed very different. She was taught music, art, and social skills. While Elizabeth was trained to rule, Margaret was expected simply to marry well. Even their relationship began to change. One sister moving toward duty, the other toward freedom. Then came the Second World War. While bombs fell over Britain, the royal family refused to leave the country. Elizabeth even joined the army as a mechanic and driver. It was a powerful symbol, a princess, working alongside ordinary citizens. And during this time, Elizabeth met a man who would change her life, Prince Philip. Their romance would eventually lead to a royal wedding in 1947, a moment of hope in a country still recovering from war. But Margaret's own love story would be far more complicated. After their father died in 1952, Elizabeth became queen at just 25 years old. Her coronation in 1953 was watched by millions. But while the world celebrated the new monarch, another royal drama was unfolding behind palace walls. Princess Margaret had fallen in love. The man was Peter Townsend, a decorated war hero. But there was one problem. He was divorced. At the time, this was unacceptable within royal circles. And the queen herself faced an impossible dilemma: support her sister's happiness or protect the stability of the monarchy. Townsend was sent away overseas. Margaret waited for years. But in 1955, she made a heartbreaking announcement. She would not marry him. Duty had won, just like it had for her sister. Margaret eventually married photographer Anthony Armstrong Jones in 1960. It was the first royal wedding ever broadcast on television. Millions watched the glamorous princess finally seemed happy. But the marriage would slowly unravel. Scandals, affairs, and increasing media attention. By the 1970s, the relationship collapsed. Margaret became a symbol of the changing times, a royal navigating celebrity culture and relentless press scrutiny. Meanwhile, her sister continued quietly leading the monarchy through decades of global change. One sister became the face of stability. The other became a royal rebel. Despite their differences, the bond between Elizabeth and Margaret never disappeared. They remained deeply close throughout their lives. But Margaret struggled with declining health later in life. After several strokes, she passed away in 2002 at the age of 71. For Queen Elizabeth, it was devastating. Only weeks later, she would also lose her mother. Two of the most important people in her life, gone within months. In public, Queen Elizabeth rarely showed emotion. But at Margaret's funeral, many observers noticed something unusual. The Queen's eyes filled with visible grief. Because beyond the crown, beyond the responsibilities, beyond the weight of monarchy, she had lost her little sister. Two girls who once played together in palace gardens. Two sisters who started life the same way, but whose destinies could not have been more different. One became the architect of the modern monarchy. The other helped push its boundaries. Together, they changed the royal family forever.